Now in the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, you know, there's some news that came out from Consumer Reports. Now, there's a lot of sisters out there and really people from all communities now are wearing braids, your box braids, boho braids, whatever kind of braids you're wearing, right? But in a lot of the hair that's being used, the synthetic hair that's being used, it's been found there's a lot of carcinogenic chemicals that's being in this synthetic hair. So let's go ahead and check this out. So as you can see here, dangerous chemicals were detected in 100% of the braiding hair we tested. So they said they sent to the lab 10 of the most popular synthetic braiding hair products they say on the market from brands of Magic Finger, Sassy Collection, Sensational, Shake and Go, and others. Carcinogens were detected in all of them. Now, I come from a petrochemical background, and I can, I have some knowledge about some of these chemicals actually myself, and we get into that. They're talking about, say, whether they want to streamline their beauty regimen, they say add some gorgeousness for vacation or prepare for little ones for a few weeks of a sleepaway camps, and many black people would pick braided hairstyles as they go-to, especially in the summer, especially on vacations. They say braids can deliver, say, that look, they're chic versus no fuss, and they say they can be worn for weeks at a time, minimizing the need for daily hair maintenance and all the copious products, breakage, heat, and wear and tear that comes with it. They say it's talking about it's rooted in the culture. They talking about all the people that has worn it. They say these beloved protective styles actually, they say, be doing more harm than good. Now they say after experiencing a braiding debacle 2 years ago, Crystal Thomas, a student at Albert Einstein College of Medicine at the City University, they say, of New York, set out to find an answer to this very question. Thomas went to a professional stylist to have her braids done using what she recalls was the popular synthetic brand, Canacolon. They say her problem started the same day. She said I couldn't sleep well, my throat felt irritated, and I had trouble focusing on any type of work I was doing because of the smell. They say the smell wouldn't go away even after washing my hair a couple of times. So experiencing discomfort, she removed the braids a week and a half later. Said typical, people wear it for several weeks. Said she then decided to research possible health issues tied to braiding hair as part of her public health coursework, and she published her findings and commentary about the risk of carcinogenic materials in hair products for black women. Okay, so of course she wasn't the only one that had this experience. They said, of course, black women are primary users of these products. That people of African descent are the largest group of consumers of hair wigs and extensions. They say the U.S. market these products valued at $2.79 billion. That's crazy. And is expected to reach $6.34 billion by 2029. Well, I tell you what, one thing I've learned about women in general, but sisters too in particular, they're gonna spend a lot of money on hair, nails, all that, lashes. It's crazy. It's crazy how much money gets spent on that. Now, they tell you about the particular carcinogens that was shown. So let me get to that, because that was very important. So they tell you how they tested it and all of that. Fine. Okay, so let me get down here, because some of this stuff I have. Let me see if I can fix my screen. Okay. So it's a sensational. They did the 3X pre-stretched kids braid and the 3X pre-stretched braid 58. Benzene. Now I'm gonna tell you about benzene. I used to load benzene actually on barges. And when I would load benzene on barges, ladies and gentlemen, I had to put on a whole slicker suit. And what I meant by that, I had to put on rain boots, a slicker suit. I had to put on rubber gloves. I had to tape these rubber gloves. I had to put on a full face respirator, okay? And then, of course, my hard hat, just for me to hook up the hose to the barge, to hook up and disconnect. I had to put all that on just to handle benzene. Benzene itself causes leukemia, which is cancer of the blood, okay? So you don't want to mess with benzene at all. Now, they said probable. They said chloroform, methylene, chloride, styrene. I used to load a lot of styrene barges. That product is very cold, and that product is a chemical, clear chemical. You have to also suit up the same way I told you about when you're handling styrene, okay? So yes, that is all that's carcinogen because I had to protect myself at that time. Okay, now let me see if I can go down here a little bit, go over, because as I told y'all, I have a 22 year background career in petrochemical industry, and a lot of these are just horrible. As you go down, Kakalon, okay, they had methylene chloride, chloroform, styrene, the free tris, carbon tetrachloride, chloroform, all these different chemicals. Ethyl benzene, that is another derivative of benzene. I did a lot of that. Isopropyl benzene, I did that on barges and ships. Afro twist, as you can see here. All this stuff I know is cancer causing, and I took this very seriously when I was handling these products, extremely seriously. And also what helped inspire me to work hard to get away from doing these things. I did not want to handle chemicals, and so I transferred out of doing chemicals and just doing regular crude oil. So crude oil, you don't have to deal with any of this. But all this stuff you see here is all cancer causing. Anybody that handles this stuff have to be completely protected, okay? Now, they talk about they have lead, and lead is horrible. We know this. They say heavy metals such as arsenic, mercury, lead, and cadmium, they say, are found in a variety of foods. CR has previously reported there's arsenic in rice, mercury in tuna and other fish, cadmium in several foods, including baby food, with sweet potatoes and rice, and lead and cadmium in various chocolate bars. But you can be exposed to heavy metals in so many ways. It's important. It's to know where they are and to minimize exposure where you can, okay? But they tested the hair samples for heavy metals, including and they say none of the products had a detectable arsenic. 3 of the products had detectable cadmium. They say, but our exposure and risk analysis found levels that did not pose a risk. They say lead, however, was detected in 9 to 10 products. They say our exposure and risk was found. All 9 could expose a regular user to any of these products to a level of lead that can be concerning over time. So not only if you are exposed to chemicals that can cause leukemia and different other forms of cancer, now you're being exposed to lead, which is not good. We all know this. And, you've seen some sisters can wear this up to 2-3 months, some of them, and all this stuff is just seeping into your bloodstream, okay? And with time, not for you wearing it one time, but with time, can lead you to very adverse health effects. Now, they're saying here, with prolonged exposure, telling you about with time, it can lead to damage to the brain, nervous system, having linked to immune system suppression, reproductive issues, kidney damage, and look at here, hypertension, high blood pressure. They say children also wear braids made of synthetic hair, and CR has reported that lead is particularly harmful to children, can delay and impair brain development and cause developmental problems. So they're telling you all the shake and go. Sensational didn't have it, but Sensational still had cancer-causing chemicals. Shake and go, this other brand is Sensational. Look at here, 123%. Look at the levels. Sensational pre-stretch kids braid, 338% lead. My God. Shake and go here. This one, 435%. I mean, this is through the roof. This should not even be allowed to be sold. I mean, come on now. This is ridiculous. Now, of course, I'm just out here discussing and giving you the information. You do what you want to do. It's your hair, your body, your choice. Now, with all this lead in here, they say VOCs are synthetic braiding. Okay? So it says that any hair braiding client know that the braiding session is nearly done. You most likely get the same answer when the stylist brings out the kettle of hot water, flat iron, or even lighter. It said the braider dips the braids in the hot boiling water as shown below, right? And then to prevent unraveling. It said while satisfying both the braider and the client is also dangerous when synthetic hair is heated. VOCs is released, it say, into the air. So the EPA say VOC are often human-made chemicals. It's used for paints, pharmaceuticals, and refrigerants that are emitted as gases. The American Lung Association reports breathing VOCs can irritate the eyes, nose, and throat, cause nausea, damage to the central nervous system, and cause some cancer in some instances. Now, the test shows the VOCs were emitted when the braiding hair was heated to boiling 212 degrees Fahrenheit in the lab. The VOC detected and say the highest levels of majority of the hair products was acetone. I've done acetone barges too. Acetone is part of like what they use with your fingernail polish remover, but I've done acetone barges, and that's something you have to protect yourself from too. It's a respiratory irritant commonly used to dissolve other substances and produce a wide variety of products. Now they tell you, look, all the different brands here, as you can see, it's just through the roof. So I mean, it's just like, why would you even put this in your hair at this point? I mean, my Lord, magic fingers and sensational. It's now they say the companies, you know, of course they don't care about you. Okay, rashes when wearing braids. We've heard sisters having issues with that. Now, let me other health risks they're telling you about could take years to present themselves. I'm only presenting this to y'all, right? Because I think the FDA needs to get involved, the Health and Human Services too, and they need to ban these products. They need to ban them because you're literally putting dangerous chemicals that can harm the health of, and there's more black women aware of this than anybody else, that can harm black women. So black women, next time you get braids, you need to research what you're using. Don't use anything synthetic. And even if it is human hair, where is it coming from? What's the testing on it? Like, y'all have to really make sure to anything synthetic, right? Synthetic is just bad on a good day. Synthetic. Please stay away from synthetic. Synthetic is just chemicals, is fibers and all of that. I just want y'all to be healthy. That's all, right? Just be healthy. And I want you to live a very long time. So please don't put any synthetic hair in your head. Please don't. Because just for the sake of your health, your family, and because, you know, people dealing with cancer and all of that, that's, you know, some people survive it. A lot of people don't. It's a lengthy process, extremely expensive. So, you know, we need to do everything we can to try to, you know, keep ourselves healthy. So please, for your health, stay away from synthetic hair.